So I've had the unique pleasure this year so far of visiting 32 out of our 40 clubs. Got just a few left now. And I can honestly say this, Rotarians get things done. Boy, do we get things done. Every single club I visited, we have great service projects, we have great fundraisers, we have incredible members. We just bring things together and make it work for our members and our communities. And I want to highlight to you some of the coolest things that I've seen so far this year. In East Central Indiana, we have 4 clubs that have partnered together for a global grant project. 4 small clubs, but with a global impact. I've seen fundraisers that engage the entire community. Just a few months ago, I was in Lafayette, Indiana to attend the ice cream crawl. I made it to 7 out of the 11 locations. Now, as you can tell, I don't miss an opportunity to enjoy ice cream. But in each location, there was a line out the door. And that fundraiser was full of families, people that Rotary has wanted to engage for years, and they made it happen. I also attended a barbecue put on by the Noblesville Rotary Club that has now become the largest barbecue competition in the state of Indiana. That's no small feat to pull off because we have an incredible barbecue in Indiana. And every single club that I've visited, I've met members who have been longtime members in Rotary, members that are just getting started, and all of them have a genuine interest in serving their communities. We truly are uniting for good. So here's a little bit of recap of what we're going to talk about today. We get together here not just so we can do our grants training, so we can continue to do great projects year after year, but we're also here today so that we can learn to be more engaged, more about what does Rotary do, to feel inspired by what each other is doing, so we could take these ideas back to our clubs and make what we're doing that much better. So what I'd like to do at this time is we're going to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. So Pavithri Kilgore is the owner of KPSK Consulting, which is a fractional human resources company. Now, I know sometimes when you hear the word human resources, you kind of go, ugh, but I promise you, she is an incredible speaker. So we met through my business organization, and as we've gotten to know each other over the years, I would share with her what I'm worried about in doing a great job for you guys this year as your district governor. And she always has some really good ideas. And we were talking about what can we offer our members to give them a perspective that each and every one of us comes from a different walk of life. We have different beliefs, different cultures, we have different political ideologies. The only thing we truly share in common is our commitment to help other people and to leave this world a better place than we found it. So Pavithri started her business after spending 20 years in the global corporate world. And she loves helping businesses protect what they've worked hard to build, as well as nonprofit organizations. Because even though we're a nonprofit, it is still our responsibility to treat everybody that we meet with respect. So please give a big hand for our keynote speaker this morning, Pavithri Kilgore.
Thank you for that warm welcome. It is truly an honor to be here with the Rotary family. People who live and breathe service above all. So I'm not sure how much you know about me or what Ryan has shared with you all. So I'm sure most of you are going, who in the HE double hockey sticks is this chap? As Ryan said, I'm the founder of KPSK. We're a fractional HR company that does provide services coast to coast. Now, before you sit there and go, wait, another HR person who's going to sit here and talk at us. Let's get some things straight, shall we? One, I'm the least HR-friendly HR person you're going to meet. Two, I'm married to a sailor. I make him blush. Three, last but not least, if you're expecting a prim and proper, straight-laced HR person, oops, this may not be the meeting you're in. You're sure you're supposed to be at the Rotary meeting, right? Yep. Okay, just checking. All right, boring stuff out of the way. Let's have some fun. I'm going to give you guys some challenges today. Okay. I'm also going to ask you guys some questions. There are no wrong answers. Just be honest. And we'll go from there. Raise your hands, interrupt me. I love interactive conversations. I hate talking at people. So there's not enough coffee here, probably not on the planet, for anybody to sit and hear me speak for a half hour or for me to actually do it. So, yes, sir.
Just testing.
Just checking. Love it. Oh my God. 9:10 on a Saturday morning and people are paying attention. Yes! I've achieved something in life. That's awesome. All right. Who here, raise your hands, notice that I'm not a white male. Okay. Yay, people are paying attention. That's awesome. I bring that up because I get asked quite often, why don't I give discounts to minority women-owned businesses? The response usually is, why should I? To which I get the look of shock and get, because you're a minority woman. Now, if you know anything about me, I love a little bit of a shock value. So I will look straight in the eye and go, who gives a blink? Why does being a minority woman make me special? Because the truth is, it doesn't. What makes me special is not what I look like. What makes me special is my word, my integrity, what I bring to the table, the relationships I build, the individuals I meet and what they bring to my life. Those that are working with me personally, professionally, my day-to-day interactions. That's what makes me special. This right here is just, heck, if I kind of thought about it, I would have been here in jeans and a t-shirt, just say. Ryan didn't ask me to speak today because I'm a minority female. I know that to be a fact. I double-checked this morning just to be on the safe side. Even for a second, if I thought that was the reason why he asked me that, I would have told him to go jump. Last time I was offered a position because I was a minority female, I was a 19-year-old college kid. And I had applied to be a RA. I got the job. But I was a bit confused because my transferred in from another school, was an RA up there, clearly far more qualified than I was, didn't get the job. Okay. So even back then I was a more of a loud, obnoxious, you know what. So I went to the housing director and said, what the heck? I may have used some of the different language, but you know. Well, he didn't even blink. He goes, we needed a minority and female RAs. With you, we got both. That tells you how old I am, that he had the, you know what, to tell me that. I said, thanks, but no thanks. I walked away from the position. Most adults in my life said I was an idiot for giving up free housing. Those that know me are proud of me for standing my ground. So here's your first challenge for the day. Identify what makes you special. What makes you you? And then, by your first break, I want you to learn what makes those sitting at your table special. And then when you get back to the club, do it with your club members. Go beyond what you see. All right. There's a very large misconception that diversity is what you see, and that you have to hit some kind of a quota to be considered as being inclusive. That we need to hit some phantom arbitrary number. There is that school of thought, and studies that say all those things can be true. I happen to think that diversity, equity, and inclusion to be something very, very different. All right, let's define some key terms so that we all start on the same page, okay? Diversity is about representation. Who is in the room? Inclusion is about engagement. Who's being heard? And then belonging is about safety. Who feels valued just as they are? So a great analogy we've used previously works really well. Diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. Belonging, dancing like nobody's watching you. All right, next question. Look around the room. It's a pretty good sized group. From the definition of DEI we just talked about, is this a diverse group of attendees? Nod your heads, raise your hands, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
A diverse group of,
Could it be more diverse?
no, is it a diverse group of attendees?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
saying yes, we are diverse, and I've seen most of these people dance, and you're not aware of.
Ah, love it. Okay. Do you see a pretty even breakdown of race, gender, age?
No, we are not. This is not. We're not diversity. I've been rejected 40 years. We are non-diversity.
Okay, that is a fair point. So what we're saying is, yes, we have diversity, but we're not diverse enough. Does it matter?
Yes,
Okay.
we survived.
All right. To me, looking out, this is a pretty diverse group of individuals. Not because of age, race, gender, anything I see, but because I can learn something new from every single one of you. I get it. That's not enough. And I say that as a minority female standing here. Yes, that is not enough. But don't discount the diversity of thought, ideas, cultures, heritage, how you were raised, right? Diversity isn't about having a bunch of people from different countries, different whatever. It is about inclusivity of everything. The joke is, and has always been in HR, if you're a white male under 40, you're SOL because there are no laws that protect you. And guess what? That may be true in black and white, but as a human being, the laws of humanity should be what we live by, right? Are we truly utilizing what each of us bring to the table? So how do we take that and apply to a service organization like the Rotary that operates around the world? Rotary is known as a trusted organization, having been raised in third world country. I'm from Sri Lanka, if you didn't know that. If you heard that a project was spearheaded by Rotary, it meant something. But what is that something? Rotary has always been ahead of its time. Global, service-driven, values-based. The four-way test is a beautiful foundation that sets the stage of what Rotary is all about. Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Those are inclusion questions. Those are the words you live by every day as a Rotarian. My favorite of the four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? That right there, that's all about belonging. You'll see here, the whole theme of my speech today is about belonging and how do you make individuals feel that and give that back. So in the corporate world, leaders say all the time, we love referrals. Why? Because they're coming to us with some recognition and recommendations. You know what you get. Be careful. Corporate world applies to service world. There's a lot of parallels. When you are relying heavily on referrals, in the corporate world, at your clubs, wherever, here's what happens. When that's your main source of recruiting, what you see is what you get. You end up with a workforce or a club with a bunch of minions. They look like you, talk like you, think like you. How can you become truly great when you have a bunch of clones running around with no one to challenge the everyday norms? That's going to question you and say, yes, but have you thought about X, Y, and Z? Being challenged is not a bad thing. I don't know about you, but I think the world would be a pretty darn boring place if we were all exactly the same. I know that the world can't handle two of me. Heck, most of the time I don't think the world can handle one of me, but here I am. Research showed that inclusive organizations are more innovative, more resilient, and better at solving complex problems. Sounds exactly like what Rotary does. It's not just about outcomes, it's about the humanity. Does your club reflect what your community looks like? More importantly, does your club membership look like the people you work with, the communities you service, that you provide valuable life-saving services for? So, an acquaintance of mine, I've known this person since I was like 12, 13, something like that. Reacquainted recently, needed some business help, so we sat there talking, and he wanted to meet today, and I said, nope, I gotta be at a Rotary meeting. So he tells me that he was a young Rotarian and host family in Georgia, this whole thing, and I said, oh, are you still a member of Rotary? And he goes, no. Why? Not much has changed since I was 13, Joel. I'm still an obnoxious kid at home. His response was, there aren't too many people like me around here, and it just doesn't feel right. You see, people are not looking for special treatment. They just wanted to feel seen and valued. To them, it had nothing to do with who they were or where they came from. But they felt that he felt judged for those very reasons and not taken seriously or felt welcome. Sometimes it sucks to stick out like a sore thumb. Thick skin only gets you so far, my friends. And I have pretty thick skin. And even I get enough to use some very loud four-letter words. Now, let's look at the cost of exclusion. Let's flip the lens. What happens when people don't feel included? We lose talent, passion, perspective. New members disappear after the first few meetings. Communities feel overlooked. And potential partners never walk through the door. This isn't a future threat. It's happening now, especially with younger generations who expect authenticity and inclusion as non-negotiable. Now, the sad part of that statement is a younger person walking in is going to take a look at a room and say, I have nothing in common with these people, and walk right out. So our job becomes 10 times harder to convince that new generation, why us, why my club, why now? Exclusion isn't always loud or intentional. Often, almost always, it's subtle. Jokes that don't land right, traditions that don't evolve, meeting spaces that don't accommodate. All right, let's name a few myths. We treat everyone the same. Equity sometimes requires treating people differently to meet them where they are. We don't have a problem. If you never experienced exclusion, it might be invisible to you. If you think there isn't a problem in your clubs, do an anonymous survey. You're going to find out what your club members feel and know and think, and will give you ideas on what they need from you as a leader to change. Inclusion means lowering standards. Actually, it raises the bar. It asks us to stretch, grow, and create space for all kinds of excellence. So, I want to share a phrase I learned a long time ago in a similar thought that made a profound impact in my life, both professionally and personally. Sawubona. So, it is a Zulu greeting from KwaZulu Natal province of South Africa. And it simply translates to I see you. Sawubona is much deeper than I see you. Know. Here's what it really means when someone says Sawubona to you. It means I see you. You are important to me and I value you. It transforms what is typically an abbreviated hello into transformational acknowledgement. It means all my attention is with you. I see you and I allow myself to discover your needs, to see your fears, to identify your mistakes and accept them. I accept you for what you are and you are part of me. One simple word. So, how many of you greeted each other with, hi, how are you this morning? Everybody, right? How many of you can truly repeat what the answer back to you was? I'm not expecting anybody to answer, but I will tell you, I told Lance I need a guinea pig, I'm going to use him. And he goes, sure, tell me what you need. I didn't even say hi to him. I just literally walked up and said, well, I'm going to be your pain in the you know what today. And he goes, huh? And then I responded with, well, I need a guinea pig today. And he goes, sure, tell me what to do. I remember that interaction because it wasn't, hey, how are you? I said that to a bunch of you. I don't remember what you said back to me, just say. Are we really asking how you are when we ask that? Do we really want to know? No. It's just a formalized ritual without any true meaning. We're in such a hurry, sometimes we don't even bother with this anymore, right? Sometimes it's just a nod. If you're lucky, you might get a wave. So, when somebody says Sawubona to you, what is the proper response back in Zulu? Shikoba. Shikoba. Sorry. This all came to me about midnight last night because I rewrote this speech. And I forgot to put that part into the slide. Shikoba means I am relieved to know that I exist for you. Or I see you back and thank you for honoring me. Now, you will see this in conferences a lot. You will hear people say Sawubona, and you will hear people respond with Shikoba. If you've been through some of the inclusion trainings in the corporate world, it's a very common interaction. But here's the best part I have learned is You'll say sawubona, and somebody who hasn't been through that training goes, what the heck did you just say? And guess what? It's a conversation started. It gets you to have a meaningful conversation about what is it mean? How do you respond? Why is it important?
Does anybody say Gesundheit?
More often than not. Yes. And you don't want to know what I say then. A great deal of what troubles us, many of us, is that we're not seen. We aren't valued. We are not acknowledged. That's not a diversity problem. That's a human one. Sometimes we are seen, but just as a walking wallet, if you have children, you know what I'm talking about. To be controlled, we are a transactional blip in someone else's story. We are way too consumed by our devices, avoiding each other, and increasingly being self-absorbed. All right. Challenge number 2. At some point, Ryan's going to ask you guys about these challenges. So you better make sure you do them. All right. So this one you got to do by end of lunch today. Find out if there is a unique way another member uses to greet each other. It doesn't have to be cultural. It doesn't have to be in another language or even another country. It can be something as simple as a special greeting you share in your family, kids, grandkids. What is it? So, find that out about each other. All right. What inclusive culture looks like. Let's break it down into 4 pillars. Representation. Who's in your club? Do you reflect the community you serve? Are younger people, people of color, LGBTQ plus folks, people with disabilities, are they part of your leadership pipeline? 2, the voice. Who's being heard? Do your meetings allow space for new voices? Do you rotate leadership roles or always rely on the same few? Do you create a safe environment for new voices to speak up? How many of you like flying? Okay. How many of you fly and want to get off that plane the minute it lands? Right? You know when the flight attendant gets on the plane, speaker and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, please stay seated till the pilot has pulled to the gate and the seat belt sign is turned off." Do you know why that announcement comes up? Because some idiot decides they're going to get up and try to walk to the front of the plane before the planes come to a stop and putting themselves and others in danger. It's called praise in public, reprimand in private. The flight attendant didn't get up and go, "Hey, idiot in seat 13B. The flight attendant addressed the whole room. That's what I mean by, are you creating a safe environment for people to voice, bring in new voices? Good, bad, or indifferent, do they feel empowered to stand up and talk? Or are you shutting them down? Belonging. Who feels safe? Is your club a place where people feel they can be themselves without code switching, hiding their background, or downplaying their experiences? I'll be honest, I don't know all of you, and I don't know the answer to that question. But I know enough of you. What you see is what you get with me. You're never going to see me turn and be somebody different because of my audience. I get asked to speak because of who I am. People are joining you because of who they are and what they believe in. Equity in action. Who is being supported? Are your events accessible? Are your membership dues or schedules creating barriers? Truly inclusive culture isn't something you achieve, it's something you build moment by moment. So, what can you do? Conduct an inclusivity audit of your club. Create an inclusion chair or a DEI committee. Use inclusive language in your emails, invites, and events. Rotate meeting times or offer hybrid options. Share diverse member stories in newsletters. Partner with groups that are already doing equity work. Start small, but start somewhere. The key words there is start. And if you're already doing it, don't stop. Rotary stands for something more than just a service organization. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Each of these tenets is what drives everything that happens within Rotary. Its rich history tells us that so much good comes from like-minded, like-driven, like-valued individuals coming together and moving forward towards a common goal to help others. What we need to do in today's society is to make sure that we create a culture that involves not just diversity by looks, but diversity of mind, thought, and action. We need to look beyond ourselves. In a world where every nuance is dissected and our differences are highlighted, service becomes a common ground that unites us in a common goal for the benefit and betterment of others. Our differences is not what? A weapon. It's not a weapon to be wielded against each other. Kids have it way too often. But a gift to be used to bring us together and to give back. If we are to do good work, we must embrace each other. We must invite new voices, new ideas, and bring forth change that takes us into the future with clarity and sustainability. This is my last challenge for you. And this comes when you get back to your club. What if your club becomes known as the most welcoming, inclusive place in town? Imagine the ripple effect, new ideas, stronger partnerships, deeper impact. As Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Let's make everyone feel like they belong, not just for who they are, but for who they have the power to become. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. We are Rotary. We are people of action. Find out more at Rotary.org.